All right, everybody. What is going on, man? I mean, what is going on this Wednesday night? Well, we got a TNA review, and it was the part two of the best of Impact Wrestling for the whole year of 2014. That's why I didn't put like a date on it because it just really wasn't a actual Impact or whatever. It was just kind of like the best of what was going down, kind of like the best of TNA per se. Like we said last week, it was just a continuation of what we had last week. Basically, just kind of running down the year, what happened, um, kind of getting the people acquainted with what's going to be going on in Impact Wrestling in the future, especially on this new TV deal that they have that I announced on last week. Um, Before we start, I got some injury news that I'm going to wait to the end um, of the show to do, and also me and Casey are going to give our best matches of the year at the end of the show as well. So I got some good injury news for you guys. I got it off Wikipedia, so I don't know how trustworthy it is, but I mean I'm gonna give it to you, and you can
How is,
kind of just look it up yourself, you know.
how
Um,
is it usually good? What kind of person are you?
no, I mean I don't know how like valid it is. Like I don't know how valid the information is what I'm
Oh,
saying.
so the
Yeah,
injury.
not like it's good news. I'm saying like I don't know how valid it is because of Wikipedia. But anyway, we got this show going down, and we started out with a video package of kind of what you're gonna see tonight. That's kind of what they did to start out the show. It was like, you're gonna see this, you're gonna see this, you're gonna see this, and obviously as we go down through it, you'll know what you're gonna see. And if you watched it, you'll know you already know what you saw anyway. So we started off with the Wolves versus the Hardys tag team title match. This was like when the first time the Hardys came back. When I heard that theme again, it kind of reminded me of how much I hated it at first because I hated the Hardys that theme. I don't know why I really did. I hated it though. Um, I don't know if you caught that old lady though, the elderly lady that was in the crowd. Jeff Hardy hugged an elderly lady and she was so excited. It was great. She was hyped. She was hyped. Speaking of hype, she was so hyped that she got the crowd hyped. The crowd was really hyped for this match. Um, they were like extremely hyped. I think this was maybe one of the first tapings in New York. The crowd was hyped throughout those tapings, but especially like in this match, this was the Destination X taping. They were really hype about this match. Just a couple of spots from this match that may have caught your eye: the double hurricane rana by Eddie Edwards. The I don't know really what happened here. It seemed like they showed the whole match. A lot of times they didn't show the whole match, but for this match, I think they did show the whole match. Which it kind of felt kind of weird because they were kind of showing not necessarily highlights, but kind of highlights, just like clippings of the matches. But this one, it felt like they showed the whole match. Matt Hardy, he did that. He tried to go for the moonsault in this one, and you can tell he's kind of changing his ways a little bit, and I think he's been doing this for a while now, where he does instead of doing the leg drop, he does the moonsault. I don't know if it's probably I know he has bad knees, so it's probably a little easier on the knees for him. Um, I did notice that Matt Hardy doesn't move around as like he used to. I know we've said it before, but I haven't really paid that much attention to Matt Hardy a lot. So he does. You can kind of tell it's like getting a little hard for him to move a little bit, which is unfortunate. But if you watch this match, you can tell. You can probably tell in a lot of his matches, but I know in this match in particular, I could kind of see it. You could make a case that if you watch that twist of fate at the end of the match by Matt Hardy on I think it was Davey Richards, the way he sold it, it looked like the match was over right there. You could have made a case for team not Team 3D, but the Hardys to actually win it right there. But actually, what actually won this was the backstabber. Matt was in the power bomb clutch, and then Davey Richards goes for the backstabber off the top turnbuckle. If you've seen it before, you know what I'm talking about. I feel like if we saw these older tag teams rejuvenate the tag team division like they did somewhat a little bit, I think just some new tag teams would help rejuvenate the tag team division. Some new tag teams that work together and can put on some good matches would really help the tag team division. like we've been saying for a while now. So, what do you think of that first match, just in particular,
It was a
or
good
the
match.
video package, or the video package?
The video package was a video package. It just basically showed us what we were gonna see tonight. I don't know. Uh, this match was good. It was obviously kind of a match to start getting the Wolves over for non Ring of Honor fans, for guys, for people who may not really know them. This is kind of trying to get them over, with an older team, not an older team, but more experienced teams, which I think it did what it was supposed to do. Good match. I, I've noticed especially in this tonight, this show, where they were kind of going over all the great matches, and even the one last week. Taz will say any move and add City onto it. Like he's like in this match, he's like side effect City. And I think in the one of the Lashley matches, he's like Spear City every time. I I just been noticing that, and I'm like, oh my god, really? Uh, it's just kind of a little side note there, but I mean, this was a good match. I know what you're talking about when you say it looks like Matt is kind of it's getting harder for him to get around, and that could be his knees. It could just be that him and Jeff have been basically this has been their job, professional wrestling, since they were like what 16, 17 years old. So they've been doing this for so long. It has to finally be catching up to them. You can even see Jeff kind of not getting around as well as he used to. You can just see, even pre-match and even promos, you can see him kind of, stretching his back, or a grimace on his face or something. And it's just the things that they've put their body through over the years are getting to them. And it's unfortunate because this is kind of all that they know. So it's like, it kind of goes to and I know this isn't a WWE review, this isn't a Total Divas review, but last season on Total Divas, Bree and Daniel Bryan were trying to figure out, if Daniel had to quit, what would he do? These guys, this is all they know. They don't have a backup plan. They don't have, a college degree. They don't have work experience. So it's unfortunate, but this is all they know. So it's not like they can just go, okay, I'm going to retire and go do this, now. But and I know people are going to say, well, they make so much money that they could probably retire. That's not necessarily the case. They make a lot of money, but you have to think traveling costs. They have to put food on the table for their families, and not everybody is John Cena. Not everybody makes millions of dollars for nothing. And I'm not making a John Cena rant. I'm just stating a fact. He is probably the highest paid wrestler in the business right
Have you
now.
seen that man's house? If you seen that man's house, you see the money he making. Goodness.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's just ridiculous, and it's unfortunate that not many superstars really live that way. Um, but anyway, back to the match. It was a good match. I thought this whole series was really good. With the three tag teams. Yeah, it, I don't want to say either the Dudleys or the Hardys are going to retire soon, but it's got to come eventually. You know, but it was good for the older fans to see a teams that they kind of grew up with. The newer fans get to see a team that they're kind of growing up with now. It was kind of like matches like The Rock versus Hogan at WrestleMania, or Rock versus Cena. Just the generational kind of collide there. That was cool. But anyway, I'm done with my part for that one.
Um, After that, we had the. This was just one of the commercials. I know they played it last week, and I didn't mention it. I don't think I mentioned it. They had that James Storm parody with the Christmas thing where he was doing the promo
The
with
overdub.
the Revolution. What did you think of that? I thought it was pretty funny. What did you think of that?
It was pretty. It was cheesy, but it was funny that they did that. I guess if it gets people to go to shoptna.com, it works.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty funny. I think he actually like tweeted after they played it last week. He was like, "You think this is funny?" And I thought that was funny that he responded to it. Then we get a little bit of it was like a piece of a match where Gail Kim won not the X Division. Lord, oh my goodness, Gail Kim turns into China, wins the X Division championship. No, Gail Kim wins the Knockouts title on Impact with the Eat Defeat finisher. Um, and then basically it was like a teaser into what we're gonna see later with Gail Kim and Havoc and Taryn Terrell and stuff later on. Pretty much because I don't think this was really long. I don't think, right? It wasn't that long. It
No,
was just like a little bit. Yeah,
yeah, it was
it
real
was like a
short.
little teaser. Like yeah, like cause they even said like later on we're gonna show you. So it was like that. You got anything to say about that short little thing there?
I thought they were gonna show more of it later. That's how they made it seem. At least to me, I was waiting for it, and then it didn't come. I was like, okay, but I mean, it was an okay match. Not too much a fan of Angelina Love. She's not the greatest in the ring. Um, but we have another knockouts match coming later in the show. So
Yeah, we do. But before that, we have Austin Aries when he regained the X Division Championship and he cashes in on Lashley. And then after that, they show the actual Aries versus Lashley match. Um, a couple of things I saw in this match. I thought this match was really good when I first watched it, and I think Lashley put on a lot of good matches, and plus when you got Aries to work with, it doesn't hurt anything. Um, the hesitation dropkick reversal into the running power slam, I thought that looked nice. The when Aries reversed the spear into the last chancery was just ridiculous. I was in love with that when I first saw it, and I was in love with it again when I saw it again. Um, Lashley, RIP, with that brainbuster because oh my goodness, just the way I don't know what it is about Lashley's head, but the way it bounces off the mat when he gets hit with a head move, like it's ridiculous. Like I swear, like it looked like he was dead after that. I don't know if you thought he looked dead, but I don't know if it was because he was a bigger guy. There was more force hitting the mat. I'm not sure. I'm not really sure, but like it looked like he killed him with that with that brainbuster. Um, Austin Aries hits a suicide dive, but Lashley moves out of the way and he runs straight into the guardrail. Um, and basically after that, a little bit later, Lashley cashes in and he spears him for the win. That kind of lets you know how Lashley's title run was. A lot of times he kind of just capitalized on other people's mistakes. He didn't allow himself to make mistakes, and he capitalized on everybody else's. So, what do you think about the not only Aries regaining the title, but the actual Aries versus Lashley match as well?
it was a good match, and again, like you said, any match where you have Austin Aries, it's gonna be a good match. That suicide dive through the ropes that missed, and when Aries crashed into the guardrail, damn, that looked nasty. Like that looked like it hurt. Like I don't know how you do that without getting seriously injured because it looked like he didn't even like put his arms up. It was just like uh also another thing that I wrote is Lashley doesn't sweat, he freaking waterfalls. Like, if you watch him in a match, it just, like, pours off like a water faucet. My God. It's disturbing. Uh, but yeah, I've noticed, like, guys like him, I don't know what his head's made out of, but it bounces. Like, I don't get it. How do you, no. Yeah.
Even with the pile driver, like it bounced. Like it was like, and you know his head's not actually hitting the mat on the pile driver.
Oh, but yeah, a good match. Not too much to say about it except for Austin Aries. I think he kind of carried that match.
Yeah, you know, with that match, I think he did kind of carry it, but I think Lashley was still impressive. And maybe it was because I haven't really seen a ton of Lashley, even during his ECW run. I watched Lashley, but I wasn't really as impressed as I should have been. I guess maybe I think he impressed me a lot with his title run, like I've said in the past. Um, After that, we got a video package on Sonata's turn and the Revolution, how it was built and everything like that. Um, the weird part about this is they didn't show that the Revolution won the. Did they show that, or did they show that during this part? Because I can't remember. I didn't write it down. I know they showed the Revolution building, but and you probably don't have a clue what I'm saying because I didn't finish the sentence. But you know, yeah, like you have the Revolution. You know, they're showing them build, and then obviously the Revolution has the tag titles now with James Storm and Abyss. Did they show that? I can't remember exactly if they showed that or not because they showed every other title change, but they didn't show that one.
They didn't show that.
Okay, I didn't think so. Um, but if you watch Sonata's heel turn here, it looked a lot better in the video package than it did when it actually happened. When the turn happened, it was like, oh, I saw that coming, you know. But like in the video package, I guess it was like the music and the editing and everything. I was like, okay, that looked cool. I still, you know, Bound for Glory was built for in Japan, and it was built for Sonata versus Great Muta to be the main event. Actually, it was built for the world title. But anyway, it was built for Sonata and the Great Muta as the main event because obviously they were the big time feud and they would be the biggest thing in Japan, right? Why didn't we get them just one on one? Why? Why? I don't know. I was a little upset about that we didn't get them one on one. But after the video package on Sonata's turn, we got Tajiri and Great Muta versus James Storm and Great Sonata. This was actually at Bound for Glory. They showed a little bit of footage of this. Just, you know, more highlights and stuff like that. I was really excited. I was really excited for this match as it, you know, as it came during the year. I was excited for Bound for Glory in general. But I actually liked this match. I did. I liked this match, and I liked the whole event in general. I thought it was different. Just bringing back up Bound for Glory. To end the match, there wasn't really anything to note here because it was really just a bunch of short clips. The double missed into the buzzsaw kick into the Shining Wizard by Great Muta to win this match was the end of this match. So what'd you think of the turn and the whole the tag team match? The tag team match.
Yeah, the turn looks so much better when you edit it. um, I don't know. Was Manic in the Revolution at Bound for Glory, or was that after Bound for Glory?
Yeah, he was in the Revolution because he actually had a match at the beginning of the night.
Okay, because like I felt like if it was Manic and Sonata versus Great Muta and Tajiri, it would have been a little bit better. I don't know Manic's history in Japan, but it just didn't seem right that James Storm was in that match. And I mean, yeah, he's wrestled in Japan and everything like that, but it just, I feel like it would have worked better if it was Manic in that match with Sonata. Um, but it was an okay match. I liked it. The match did kind of seem a little bit dull um, at times, but I did like the different kind of atmosphere in the arena in Tokyo. Just kind of the dimmer light, just the fans' reactions were different. Obviously Japan, they're a lot quieter. They're paying attention more to the in-ring product because wrestling is so huge over there. I've said it in videos in the past. If you don't know, you know, places like Japan and Mexico, their professional wrestlers are like our football players and basketball players here. So it's a big deal over there. So just that difference in atmosphere I thought was really cool for me. I would love to be able to watch that show in its entirety, even if the matches weren't that good and the booking wasn't that good, just to see kind of the difference between wrestling in the States versus wrestling in Japan. And I would also love to see some Mexico stuff. Just the difference in styles and things like that. But it was a good match. Um, Great Muda and Tajiri won, obviously, but it was good to see Tajiri back. We hadn't seen him since he left WWE, which was a while ago. But again, I would like to see this pay-per-view. I unfortunately didn't get to see it. Money problems. But maybe I'll have to pick up the DVD or see if I can watch it online somewhere. Yeah.
Yeah, and like you said about the James Storm thing, I feel like it made sense a little bit because, James Storm was kind of comparing himself to the Great Muta, being the mentor and stuff like that. I think that's the main reason why it actually made sense to me was just because, James Storm was behind the turn, and Manic had just joined the Revolution at that time. So I think that's what they were really going after there because I think that was the only storyline driven match of the event.
Yeah.
But you don't have anything else to say about that, or was that it?
No, that was it.
Okay. All right. So after that tag team match, we actually had an Impact Wrestling promo, and it was it was actually on on Spike TV as it often is, but it was good to see an actual Impact Wrestling promo, like a legit like freaking commercial where it was like, this is who we have, this is our stars, this is why you should come see us. Like that was cool to see. I hope it goes farther than Spike TV. That would be a good thing. Did you catch this promo? They actually played it twice tonight.
It
Did you catch the promo
it
at all?
won't. It won't. It'll just be in that 2 hour slot where TNA is. That's all it's ever gonna be. No, but
Yeah.
I
Did
was.
you like it?
It was okay. I was thinking about this when I was watching Raw the other day. I actually watched it Tuesday instead of Monday because I'm a horrible fan like that. But like, we've talked about how TNA doesn't promote their show outside of the 2 hours that the show is in on the channel that it's on. They also don't promote like their products anywhere. Like WWE has like uh, the fan the WWE whatever at Kmart. They have stuff at Walmart, things like that, and they promote that. They have commercials, and not even just on the channel that Raw is. I've seen it, on Wednesday afternoon. I've seen a commercial for WWE stuff at Kmart, whatever. And TNA has toys at Kmart, Walmart, Target. They just don't, along with other stuff, but they don't promote it. So it's like, how am I supposed to get into your product if you're not promoting anything outside of the window that your show is on. It doesn't make sense at all. I don't know who is in charge of their, promotion and, marketing, but they need to fire whoever that is and get somebody else. Because your company isn't going to grow unless you promote it outside of what you're already doing. That's how WWE got so big. They went outside. They went outside of professional wrestling. They brought celebrities in. They brought music stars in. They brought everybody in, and basically shouted it from the rooftop. Hey, we're WWE. This is what we are. This is what we have. That's what TNA needs to do if they want to be that big next big wrestling company. Um, which they're not going to do because they've kind of been in the same spot they've been in for the past like 8 years. Pretty much since they left the asylum days, they've been stuck in like on a treadmill, not going anywhere. Um,
Yeah, I'm gonna let you because I gotta go grab my charger for my computer goes dead. I'm gonna let you um talk about the Rude Lashley one, the kind of highlights we got on that one. Kind of like the winning segment, I guess it was, and then the hardcore war of Team Bully and Team EC3.
all right. Well, we had Rude Lashley won. And what would you look at that? Impact Wrestling on Spike TV is moving to Wednesdays. Tune in Wednesday, August 20th, 2014, 9/8 Central on Spike. Anyway, but you already know that because we're past that. He, I guess DJ needs to update his info. Anyway, um, the Rude Lashley match was okay. I personally thought other Rude Lashley matches were a little bit better than this one. Um, and it could have been just how they booked Lashley's title run that I didn't like. I know DJ didn't necessarily like it either. Just the way they kind of build him as this heel that can't win straight, can't win fair. Uh, which I think is good, but they didn't let him do it. Uh, but again, it was an okay match. Like I said, I thought other matches in the Rude Lashley feud were better than this one. Um, but I'm gonna throw it over to DJ for this one, so he can give his thoughts on Rude Lashley 1.
Rude Lashley won. I like this, and before I forget, I actually want to disagree with you on the Lashley thing, the booking of Lashley, um, because I actually kind of liked it. What?
I thought you didn't like it, or maybe I'm confusing that with
Magnus. You're confusing me with Magnus.
yeah, whatever.
I actually like the title run because he actually the opposite of what you said. He could win fair. Like he actually didn't not kind of win fair until the end. Like when he first faced Rude, that was the one that I didn't like that match in particular though, because MVP and Kenny King were out there, and
But
that's what this match was.
he always had Kenny King and MVP there, and they were always doing something to kind of.
Not during his first couple of matches though. Like his first title matches, he didn't come out with anybody. Like he came, like if you think about it, he came out like I think it was like one match he came out with them, and they were there, but they went to the back. Like he didn't come out with them a lot. It was just that last match for some reason. Not Rude 2, but Rude 1.
Maybe I'm thinking of that, but I don't know. I don't know. TNA keeps doing Rude Lashley 1, 2, 3, and then they'll do like other people. They keep doing these matches over and over again, and
Oh yeah, they're gonna have a lot of those next year, especially the beginning of next year, because they're obviously gonna do Terrell versus Garen. Lord, Terrell versus Gail Kim. I guess 4. I think technically. Um,
why?
but I liked it. I actually like this match. I think I like this one a little better than I like the second one. It was a couple of spots like the where he did the rude bomb from the inside of the ring to the outside of the ring. I like that. Um, but they were both pretty good. After that, we got the Team Bully versus Team EC3 Hardcore War. Don't ask me to name all of the competitors in this because I can't remember them. I do know Ricklon was in there though. Ricklon.
I got it.
Yes, you got it.
It was EC3, Rhino, Ezekiel Jackson, Snitsky, and then Team Extreme, or Team ECW, or whatever the hell they were calling it. Devon, Bully, Dreamer, and Al Snow for some whatever fucking reason. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That was such a letdown for me because it was like, oh my god, who it is, and then it's Al Snow. I'm like, what?
Um, you know, by the way, for those of you thinking that Ricklon is a generic name, it's not. It's his real name, so it's not generic. I actually have never heard of that name before, so I don't know how it's generic. Um, I don't know. I don't know what you thought about the name Ricklon in particular. That's what they were calling Ezekiel Jackson for his like 3 weeks in TNA or whatever.
I could see, like, if he was in WWE, I could see WWE just making like a gimmicky name like that, like kind of like they do with all their wrestlers. You know, Kofi Kingston. You know, but the fact that it is his real name, I mean, he is from uh, South Africa, I think. Or
Oh,
I think so. So I mean, you know, I'm not surprised that that's his real name, but I would be surprised if it wasn't a gimmick name if he was back in WWE, because that's what WWE does. They will never let you just have your natural name unless you're John Cena. You know,
oh God. Uh, he's actually Guyanese. I don't know how you pronounce that word. Guyanese. One of those two is probably right. Yeah. So I don't really know where he hails from, but that's cool. I think it is in Africa though. So it looked like here that EC3 took a majority of the damage. Um, it kind of gave him the right to blame everybody else because he was taking all the damage a little bit. I
yeah.
guess somewhat. We're thinking who's the last member, and Al Snow comes out with the heads as you were disappointed. Um, the crowd almost tried their best to spoil this. Like as soon as he was coming out, like I saw somebody lift up a head, and then TNA with the quick camera cut. Good clutch. That dude's clutch. Whoever the cameraman is, that man's clutch. Switching those cameras like that. But I don't know if I was really as upset as you were about this because honestly, I hadn't seen Al Snow in a while. I don't think. I can't remember. It's back in the day. I hadn't seen Al Snow in a while, and I was actually surprised that it was him. I guess I was hoping it was somebody like new, but since it wasn't, I could see how you could see it being a letdown.
That's exactly what I was hoping for. Like, I love all these, old wrestlers, not old, but like, guys from the old WWE days and things like that. But it's getting to the point where that's all TNA uses is, guys that left WWE. They don't bring anybody new in. They'll bring one new guy in for every legend that they bring, like every 10 legends that they bring in, and it's annoying. Like,
Yeah, I hate that too. Like I think we said in the State of TNA video. It's on my channel. Go check it out. No, I think we said on the State of TNA video where we said like TNA needs to bring in people we don't even know, like people you couldn't even find on the internet. Like I wish they would do that. That would be nice. I hope maybe in 2015, maybe new year, new something. Probably not, but but we want head chance. Interesting chant there. Bully with a huge crossbody on Ricklon and Snitsky. Bully, like I don't even know what it wasn't even a crossbody. Like he was just falling and twisting and hoping to hit someone. Um, Spud, MVP of the match here, hits Dreamer with a kendo stick and says, "I'm hardcore," and I laughed. I laughed for the rest of the show after that because that was great. Um, and then Spud obviously gets beat down after that. Team Bully wins with a 3D on Rhino to end this match. And after that, Bully Ray says, "Dixie Carter, tick tock, tick tock. I'm putting you through a table tonight." And probably more intense fashion than that, but you know what I mean. So what do you think about the hardcore war into the tick tock portion of the show?
It was an okay match. Um, Al Snow came in and then he was there for like 5 minutes before he got taken out. So we saw Al Snow for a couple minutes there. He did like maybe 5 moves. It seemed like he didn't really do much of anything except for like nostalgia kind of factor. He did do I think it was a moonsault he did uh, at one point, but um, again, it was a good match. I think WWE or not WWE, TNA kind of leans too much on old WWE stars and old ECW stars. Like this was basically Team TNA with old WWE stars versus Team ECW. This is basically what it was. Um, eh, which I mean, it kind of kept the storyline going. The Carters, things like that. They have money to bring whoever they want in, whatever. But other than nostalgia factor, seeing these guys that we grew up with, I don't know that this match was necessarily needed. Um, and I was gonna say I don't remember Ezekiel Jackson or Rick Ross, whatever the hell his name is, and Snitsky. I don't remember them even being in TNA that long. Like, did they get like a month contract or something?
Yeah, I
Like,
think they got like some kind of contract for some of the New York tapings. Because I think what they were trying to do is they were trying to appeal to the New York fans with the older guys and stuff like that. Because
yeah,
it was their first time in New York, I think that was the main thing they were attempting to do with all the older guys.
yeah. It was like we saw them at that show, and then we saw them at the next show where they got fired, and it was like, what was the point of that? That was a waste of money. Um, Not saying that it would cost it probably didn't cost as much as it would have for like when they were paying Sting or Flair or Hogan, but still you're wasting money on guys that are only going to be there for a couple of tapings when you could go out and get somebody that is young and hungry and looking for a chance to prove what they can do. Um, but again, I'm not saying it was a bad match. I'm just saying booking and signing could be better.
Yeah, I agree with that. After the TikTok thing, I think they went to commercial, and then we had a Manic Shara segment. This was basically picking up where we left off last time, where Shara was locked in some sort of room. And yeah, Manic shows up, and he's like, I didn't write down everything he said. I just remember him saying, "Soon we're gonna
I
be
did.
brothers forever." Did you write down everything?
I did.
Okay, you go ahead and fill us in on that.
Well, first of all, I can never remember his name, so I'm just gonna keep calling him Jinder Mahal. Um,
Mahabali, Mahabali.
Mahabale Jinder Mahal, whatever. Uh, so Manik opens the door and says, "Your salvation is close. We're gonna be brothers forever." Manik hands him a piece of paper, and you see Mahabale's hand, and it's really shaky. Obviously, he's been starved and beat down, very weak. I like that little detail that he did. A lot of guys wouldn't sell that. He says, so he hands him the piece of paper that I guess, seemed like it was pretty quick that he handed him the paper. 1 week? Is he really beaten down that much in 1 week? Come on now. Uh, Manic says, "Follow this to your salvation. Goodbye, my friend." So I don't know. Is it a check? Is it a password to a secret porn account? Anyway, um, I don't know. I'm excited. I'm curious to see what's going on with this because you know there's a lot of people in this faction. It seems like they're building, and I don't. They kind of feel like guys that wouldn't really work well together. Not personality wise, but like character wise. It's just weird. Like you have a Japanese guy, you have a guy who's from a video game, you have a redneck, and you have a monster and an Indian. It sounds like a bad racist bar joke. Like,
And this is what we've been waiting on, right? Um, we're getting okay. We got two veterans. Okay, take James Storm and Abyss out of it. We got the new guy. We've been wanting new guys. We got the new guy. We got the underused guy, Manic, and we got the former X Division champion, but still kind of new guy in Sonata. So we've been kind of waiting for this a little bit. I feel like they're gonna take over the company though, which I kind of want to see, but I kind of don't want to see because we've seen it so much. If they do it right, maybe it can work. But if they don't do it right, it's just gonna be the same thing we saw before with Dixieland or whatever.
and then before that with Jeff Jarrett, and then before that.
Yeah, they probably shouldn't do that. um, but after that, we got the another video package into the Dixie Carter um, Bully Ray feud. They called Dixie Carter, or Dixie Carter said, "I'm the hardcore star." So is Dixie Carter the real hardcore star here? I don't think so. Maybe. We'll give her the benefit of the doubt, maybe. But that was basically the main thing I took from the video package. And then they showed the segment where the unthinkable, I guess you could call it, kind of happens. Um, the Fallen team comes out after the Hardcore War. They were practically just beaten down. They looked pitiful. It looked like they weren't going to be able to save Dixie Carter, so I don't know why Dixie Carter even came out, because she had a broken team behind her. Everyone was just beat up and just done. Just done. And she's mad. Like, she's upset. She's like, "You're all fired." I thought it was funny when she pointed to the lady in the crowd, which you didn't see. I wish she would have showed the lady's face. But she points to the lady in the crowd, and she's like, "Lady, pick up your purse and get out." I thought that was pretty funny. I thought that was one of the funny Dixie Carter moments. Um, so Team 3D comes out. They got the table and whatever, and they come out, and Dixie Carter somehow gets away with Spud in her arms. Spud's in the arms here. I mean, no, she's in the Spud arms, or whatever. Whatever I'm saying, you know what I mean. She's with Spud. She's with Spud. There we go.
Cole always seems to be trying to cop a feel. Like, he is always all over her, if you notice that. Like,
She's with Spud. That's all. That's all I got. She's with Spud. But she goes with Spud, and they turn around. They're walking backwards, like, "Ha ha, bully, we gotcha!" Ha. And they turn around, and the whole Impact roster is like, "No, no, no, sir," slash ma'am. And Spud faints, which was the funniest thing during that segment. Spud faints, which was funny. Um, Spud faints, and basically they take Dixie Carter back in the ring, and she gets hit with the power bomb. Devon, there was a little bit much hand to butt action here as you were trying to set her up with this one. But she gets hit with the power bomb here, and that was it. It happened. But she took a ton of force here. If you look at that, because she didn't really get a chance to hit the table much. Like the upper part of her back and her neck like hit the mat. What'd you think? What'd you think? I know you're dying to give your thoughts.
That was one thing that I wanted to point out is I don't know if it was that she's just so light, or if the table was too close, or if with the adrenaline, Bully just went too far. But she almost completely missed the table. Like it was, I don't know. And they built it up well, and all the whole locker room was out there.
Just one thing before you keep going. And I know before you keep going, I just wondering about this because you weren't doing the reviews with me when I did this. But when they spoiled it the week before, were you a fan of them spoiling it a week before, or did you feel like, well, this was a good way to bring the fans in?
I feel like TNA has been doing that like all the time. Like they'll basically tell you what's going to happen next week. And I don't know if that's necessarily a good thing because I don't know about you, but if I know what's going on in something, I'm not gonna be excited for it.
And also, and this was a moment. I said it in my "It Happens" video, as I went on a rant about this. And it wasn't a bad rant. It was just about what had just went down. Like I feel like they shouldn't have spoiled this. They should have been like, did it happen or didn't it happen? And maybe played a little sound, but like they shouldn't have been like it happens because, especially a week before, because that's the intriguing part of it. A woman going through a table in this era of wrestling, like we don't see that ever. I mean, rarely ever. Like especially between the two mainstream companies, like you don't see that. So like I feel like they should have kind of left it alone a little bit and let it kind of be something. Is it gonna happen? Because it still kind of piques your interest a little bit.
Yeah. They definitely should have left it more of a. Were you saying something?
Oh no, I'm good. You're good.
I I think they should have left it more of a mystery because one thing that I will give TNA credit with is the knockouts do more than like the divas in TNA or in WWE. I mean, they've had ladder matches. There's a spot in the match coming up tonight that I was going to talk about that WWE would never do. Just the fact they're going in a good direction that way, but I don't think they necessarily have the talent up quite yet. I mean, they have Gail Kim, they have Madison Rain. I think she's out now for something. Um, you know, I guess you could say Velvet Sky and Angelina Love are hit or miss. Occasionally they're good, but altogether not. Um, but they just need to build it up more and then keep those matches going. Not all the time to keep it exciting. You know, have a Divas ladder match. At one pay-per-view. Have a Divas table match. It just shows that anything that the guys can do, girls can do too.
And if you think back to Roxy Lamoe, I think that's how her last name was pronounced. Like she actually bled in a match, like a knockouts match. I don't know if you remember that, but I definitely remember that. That's one of
Yeah.
those things you don't really forget if you saw it.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I've even seen in other companies, like indie companies, girls do amazing stuff. Like PWG, forgot her name, Candice something, has basically all matches with guys, and it's amazing. Just the things that she can do, the punishment that she can take. Um, and girls are more kind of limber than guys, so when you do certain moves on them, it looks that much more devastating. Like they'll bend differently, and you're like, oh god, that had to kill. Whereas guys are just bigger and more muscular. They can't do that stuff. Even the smaller guys are still too big to do some of the stuff that the women can do. Um, but that's all I had to say about that.
All right. So, oh, I can't remember if you actually answered the question. Um, but what I don't remember off the top of my head. But what did you think about the actual going through the table part? I can't remember.
I said that it was cool. Like I said,
Did you think you would see it? I think that's where I'm trying to get at.
uh, knowing TNA's history, no. Um, but I mean, I guess if TNA was kind of trying to get that big fan push, getting more fans, they had to do it. What other avenue did they really have? You know, they had brought all these guys in that really didn't do much for the company. They tried to do all this stuff and it didn't work. What's left to do? Put the main, antagonist through a table. Happens to be a woman, but you know, um, and I mean, you know, I give credit to Dixie Carter, being willing to do that. A lot of women would be like, no, I'm not gonna let Bully put me through a table. I wouldn't even let Bully put me through a table. But you got to give her credit for doing that, especially the head of a company, or not necessarily the head, but I don't even. What is her technical term now? She's not
President.
president. Yeah. Um, I don't think there's actually an owner because I think it's share held or something. Um, but you got to give her credit for doing it. Uh, you know, I don't think like Stephanie. Well, maybe Stephanie would, uh, but yeah, it was good. It was surprising to see it. Like I said, I don't think it. Looking back and watching it again, it wasn't as like hype and as exciting as it was the first time. But that first time, just seeing it and actually like seeing, oh my god, this is actually happening, was really exciting.
Yeah, it definitely was. It definitely was kind of unexpected. Even knowing it was gonna happen, you kind of had that a little bit of doubt, like this still may not happen. So after that, we had the tag title series promo, to where basically this was the challenge. This was when the challenge was brought out. Um, Team 3D and the Hardys wanted to challenge the Wolves for the titles, which ended up being pro- probably some of the greatest tag team matches this year, at least, because just consistently, I think even the first match was just a normal triple threat tag team match. Even that first match was actually pretty good if you go back and watch it. I felt like this was kind of maybe not passing the torch because they're not necessarily retiring, but it was kind of one of those things where like just more respect was being built for the Wolves, a little bit, especially for the guys who don't, like you said, for the guys who don't, the fans who don't know who the Wolves are. And I think this was also another moment during this year that you probably didn't think you would see. The 3D getting back together, Hardy's getting back together, and going up against the Wolves, and seeing that kind of nostalgia factor of the triple threat tag team matches, the Full Metal Mayhem, and tables and ladders and chairs and stuff like that. Like that was pretty cool, and it kind of I think let us both kind of relive our childhood a little bit with those amazing matches we used to see in 2000, 2001. Anything in particular about that promo, or maybe the series in general? If you want to talk about the series at this point,
Not
I can't
really.
really.
I mean, it was a good series. Again, for nostalgia factor, older guys seeing their teams come back and still be able to compete, and then for the newer guys, kind of. And like I said, the series kind of really helped for non-Ring of Honor fans get to know the Wolves and what they can do, and what they bring to the table. Um, but it was good series. I liked it.
All right, so after that promo, they actually showed one of the matches later on. I think it was the Full Metal Mayhem match. They showed it a little later on in the show. But after the actual promo where we got the table set for the tag team title series, Samoa Joe, they show a small little ending sequence where he won the X Division Championship. He won in a triple threat match with Sonata and Low Key, I think it was.
Hmm.
Um, and at this point, because it was getting near to Bound for Glory, I was a little bit upset that Sonata lost because I kind of felt like Sonata just kind of held the title for Joe to come in and win it. As much as I love Joe, I was really starting to become impressed by the way like Sonata's work in the ring. I really like the way he worked in the ring. So I kind of felt like it was a little bit of a spit in the face of Sonata, just a little bit, not too much because he did get the title, but then again, it was kind of like, well, he holds it all the way to Bound for Glory, then he loses it. So after that, we got some highlights of the triple threat match, the X Division title match at Bound for Glory. This was another match that I liked. I liked the leg lariat by Hayashi. I don't remember that the first time I watched it, but the second time I watched it, it actually looked pretty good. Um, Loki gets a springboard kick on Samoa Joe as he's in the middle of his suicide dive. Um, and then when you watch Samoa Joe, a lot of times I don't think you really see this, but when I saw it in this match a little bit, when you watch Samoa Joe go for the suicide dive when he actually hit it, you can see how fast Samoa Joe is for his size. I thought that was really cool to kind of see that. Um, but Samoa Joe gets the win off the Kukina clutch, the rear naked choke, to retain his X Division Championship at Bound for Glory. What do you think about this, especially since this was kind of one of your first matches? I mean, not your first matches, but first time watching Bound for Glory.
Um, this was the one with Kaz Hayashi, right? Yeah. Sorry, I had a brain fart there. Um, one point is I was really um I do want to go watch this pay per view again because, or not again, but for the first time because I didn't get to see it. But I hadn't seen Kaz Hayashi in years. I mean, since he came over after WCW folded, his contract was bought out by WWE, and he was in that Invasion storyline for a very short time before he went back over to Japan. So I hadn't seen him for 13, 14 years now. So to see him was really cool. Great match. I was impressed from what I saw. Like I said, I would love to see the match in its entirety to see because it looked more exciting than the James Storm and Sonata versus Tajiri and Great Muta, but it looked like a good match. And we actually got a win via knockout or pass out, whatever you want to call it, which I don't feel like we see as much anymore. Um, so that was cool. But all in all, it looked like a good match. Um, I know people were all saying, this pay per view sucks, blah blah blah, but some people are just assholes and will nitpick at everything. So
Plus, this was, I felt like this was more of a wrestling pay per view. The only match that was storyline based was the main event. And I feel like if you're looking for storyline based stuff, then this isn't the pay per view for you. But if you're looking for like more wrestling type stuff, that's what you say you want, but then that's what you get, and you're like, well, I'm not happy, So
yeah, I feel like that's wrestling fans this generation. They say they want more wrestling base, and then they get it, and they're like, "This sucks." And I'm like, "It's just what?" Um, but like I said, I definitely want to try to see this pay per view just to see a purely wrestling based show again. because we haven't seen anything like that in years, or really ever. Because WWE is all storyline based, TNA is all storyline based, and it always has been. Even back in Attitude Era, it was storyline based.
And
Uh,
I think, and what's unfortunate a little bit is that's kind of how it has to be. Like, you do something different like this, and people like jump off the deep end because, you decide to have something that's not storyline based. So if you don't have storylines, people aren't as interested anymore.
yeah,
But after that, we got the bad news that Joe vacated the title. This would happen like it was probably a couple weeks ago, I think. Actually, if you didn't know, Joe did vacate the title because he is injured. I'm not sure if he's still injured because obviously this was during the tapings, and Samoa Joe was actually hurt during the Bound for Glory pay-per-view. I'm pretty sure. Um, so that was the main reason behind he was trying to take a little time off, get healed up. So after that, we got to see who was going to be the new X Division champion, and obviously,
it's me.
oh, it was DJZ. Oh no, it wasn't, and it wasn't Casey either because he wasn't in the match. But it was not Casey either because he wasn't in the
Are
match.
you sure I wasn't in that match? I remember.
I don't remember seeing Casey in the match unless Casey was under the Tigre Uno mask.
I had a mask on. Yeah, yeah.
Tigre Uno? It's Tigre Uno, guys. We got Tigre Uno on the show.
I was manic. You could see me there for a while. I was, laying on the side there because I was dead.
Why can't you be Tigre Uno? You don't want to lose?
You know what? I wanted to be low key, but I'm not bald.
But low key did win this match. It probably would have been better if you were low key because you would have won. Low key won this match with a key crusher off the top turnbuckle. I thought that looked pretty good. I want to see more Tigre Uno, please. If you guys haven't noticed, they didn't show Tigre Uno's entrance in this match, but I love. This is just like subtle detail here. But during his entrance at the end, like they throw streamers at him. I love that because like it brings that not only that indie feel, but that like I came from. It kind of gives you that feel like he came from Mexico a little bit because they don't have all this hoopla, fireworks and stuff. So I like the streamers thing. So, what do you think about that match? And what do you think about Joe vacating the title?
It was a good match. I kind of knew Low Key was gonna win because they've kind of been passing the belt back and forth, Low Key to Samoa Joe to Low Key to Samoa Joe. I feel like Low Key and Samoa Joe just kind of play hot potato with it whenever they get the title. I would have loved to see Tigre Uno get the title. Give him a little push. But I don't know if he'll be getting his push since we haven't really seen him since then.
Yeah, I hope. Excuse me. I hope I see more of Tigre Uno because I like Tigre Uno. A lot of people say he botches stuff, but I don't think he's really that bad. And that Sabertooth splash is absolutely ridiculous. If you haven't seen his finishing move, you need to go watch it. It's ridiculous. I don't think they showed it in that match because he didn't actually hit it, but it's ridiculous to watch. After that, we get a video package on the Gail Kim Taryn Terrell feud, and then we get the match of Taryn Terrell versus Gail Kim number 3. I can't remember if this was 3 or 4 because I remember there was one where Havoc broke it up. I thought too. So now I'm just confused. It was Gail Kim versus Taryn Terrell again. It was actually a good match. It really was. The Taryn Terrell, and I think you can equally say Gail Kim as well, taking that neck breaker on the steel steps. Ow.
That was the spot I was gonna point out. Oh my god.
Yeah, and because it's a neck breaker, they both kind of take it. So I didn't want to give Taryn Terrell all the credit, but she kind of hit her neck a little bit when she fell down. So that's what makes me give her a little bit more credit. I feel like we're gonna see this at a pay-per-view, and I'm excited about it because these two have put on good matches. Like this is what women's wrestling is supposed to be. As soon as I get an interview with a female of some sort or a female wrestler, we're going to talk about the importance of women's wrestling, and dang on it, we're going to say it's important. But I think this kind of like these two kind of personify women's wrestling a little bit and what we kind of want it to be. I know you don't really like Taryn Terrell as much during her comeback, but I think still they do put on good matches. Havoc comes out at the end and basically just ends the night for Gail Kim and Taryn Terrell. Havoc don't care, and I'm pretty sure that was the debut of Havoc. Um,
Yeah.
but what'd you think of the Taryn Terrell Gail Kim number insert number here match?
I think this was 3. I don't know. Um, Taryn did hold her own with Gail Kim pretty well, although Gail always shines in pretty much any match she's in just because she's that good as a women's wrestler. Um, like I said, the that devastating reverse neck breaker on the steel steps. Like there's guys that wouldn't take that. Like that's crazy. Gail retains obviously, and then Havoc comes out or debuts. I'm still not really that impressed with Havoc, to be honest. I think she's just kind of billed as a big, monster knockout who just bowls through everybody, which I don't like. Even when China was in WWE and she was kind of that big diva that could take on the guys, could take on the girls, she still had the technique and the technical skill to have a good match. It wasn't just bowling through everybody. And other divas like that, like Beth Phoenix, I liked. Um, and I just think they need to kind of develop her in ring more in TNA. I know she's been in other promotions. I haven't really seen too much of her work in other promotions. I don't know if they build her or kind of booked her the same way in other promotions, but you need more kind of detail in your wrestling. You can't just be a bulldozer, or it's going to get boring. But like I said, Gail Kim always shines pretty much in any match that she's in. So, and also makes whoever she's in the match with look good. Um, so that helps. That I think that'll help kind of bring the knockouts division in a good direction. Maybe some of her kind of talent will rub off on newer knockouts like Brittany. Where's Brittany? Where Brittany at? Where'd she go? Where's Brittany's pants and assets at? Because you know. But yeah, I'm excited to see. Hopefully, they keep going in a good direction with the knockouts. But I'm not gonna hold my breath.
I think they kind of are. The one thing about Havoc I like, and I've always been an advocate for different things. I sound like Paul Heyman, an advocate. I've always been an advocate for different things. Like I like that Havoc's different. Like it's like what I liked about ODB. She was different. Um, like she was just different. Go watch some ODB matches. You'll be in love probably. ODB was great. I miss ODB. But I think Havoc is different, and she can do a hammerlock slam. Do like her hammerlock slam. Do like that. I really do hope they develop her a little bit because it's kind of like the bigger guys in wrestling in general, like the big shows, the Mark Henrys and stuff like that. Like you get bored with them. I think even Abyss a little bit. Unless it's in a hardcore match, you kind of get bored with them because they do the same thing. Clothesline, choke slam. It's like that. You get a little bored with them, and you don't want to get bored with them, but you really have no choice. So after that, we had the three-way knockouts match: Taryn Terrell versus Havoc versus Gail Kim for the knockouts title. This one was one that actually surprised me. I don't really know how Taryn Terrell won. I know it was kind of like a combination of pins. I don't know what to call it. That's kind of how she won. But Taryn Terrell is the knockout champion. This was kind of TNA catching us up. I don't know why my throat's so dry, but this is kind of TNA catching us up a little bit on what's going on. So, what do you think of the three-way match? It wasn't really a three-way match. It was like the ending portion of it.
It was good. Um, Good to see Taryn win. Kind of maybe give her a push more. Um, Hopefully they don't just turn around and feed her to Havoc, because that would just be stupid. But and along with Havoc, going back to Havoc, I don't know really what they could do with her in the long run. I mean, there's only so much kind of just dominating that you can do before it gets boring, and there's no knockouts her size that can kind of really give her a run for her money. So I don't know, but I guess only time will tell what happens with the knockouts division.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. It's kind of like Rusev a little bit. Rusev is kind of just dominating everyone a little bit too. So
Yeah.
it's similar to that. Next, we got the Full Metal Mayhem. This was the third. I think actually, yeah, this was the fourth match in the tag team title series. Either way, it was the final match in the tag team title series. So whoever won this, they were gonna win the series. And what we got here was we got a ladder match, and then we got Full Metal Mayhem, which also turned out to be a ladder match. So that was kind of interesting. This match I thought was really good. I think I've even heard this match being called Match of the Year. The whole series was good, and it kind of like built every single match. I felt like
Yeah.
we kind of got TLC a little bit in the previous match, a little bit with some tables and some chairs being used, but this one was just ridiculous. Like let me just go through a little bit. I don't, I just wrote down a little bit of everything. The German suplex onto the chairs in sitting position. Al Bully Ray with the power bomb on Davey Richards and onto the guardrail on the outside, and Davey Richards was frozen for a little while. So I hope they turned up the heat in there because he needed to get from needed to get unfrozen because he was frozen for a while there. I think that's how Davey Richards sells though. He just like freezes. like he's never really in pain. He just freezes. Um, then we got the leg drop on the so Jeff Hardy, king of ridiculous spots. Just so you guys know what went down here, he sets the table legs up, and he does a leg drop. Bully moves out of the way, and he hits the table legs up. Ow. Jeff Hardy, ow. Matt Hardy with a rare leg drop to Davey Richards through a table. Devon gets pushed from the top rope through two tables on the outside of the ring. Jeff Hardy falls off a huge ladder onto Bully Ray through two tables out that were also outside of the ring, through two separate tables, obviously. And then we get a power bomb on Matt Hardy off the ladder through the table, and the Wolves win the tag team title series. This was kind of recent history here a little bit. What do you think of this match? Match of the year or nah?
Um, they need to have a series of the year, because this would be series of the year definitely. Um, I mean, I think this could be match of the year. I mean, maybe. There's so many good spots in each of the matches that it's kind of hard to say this one's better than this one because you know. But these guys, the risks that they take and the spots that they take. Ow. Uh, um, uh, but I, I don't even know what to say about this match or this series because it was. I like it. I like it a lot. I vote series of the year, and I vote the Wolves tag team of the year.
All right. Um, I like that, but especially I called them, and this was before I started watching Ring of Honor, so bear with me. I called them the tag team, the best tag team in the world right now. Um, I don't know. I don't know about that. I think you can make a case because they've been really good, and they've been a really bright spot in the tag team division of TNA. Um, but I mean, you got to factor in Red Dragon and the Young Bucks if you want to think about Ring of Honor as well. So you know, it's a tight race though. I don't think they're far away. If they're really close. Um, so after that we get Rude versus Lashley 2. Um, I do remember the Rude bomb on the ramp that wasn't showed in this these highlights here, and I'm a little upset that they didn't show it. That's okay. Rude wins with the sit down pin thing. I don't know what to call this, but I call it me being upset because no, 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 no. Okay, no, you can't do that. Okay, you had a good match going here, and you're gonna get a fluky win off of this good match. No, no, and that's I think I understand that it wasn't fluky, but I said it when this actually happened, like during the review. Like if from the outside looking in, you're probably like, I don't know about that. Would he do that again? Would he actually beat him in real fashion? So what do you think of Rude Lashley 2? It kind of feels like we just talked about this not too long ago, but
Uh,
looking back,
a lot of the matches in the Rude Lashley series, I feel like were not not bad matches, but you've seen a move once, you've seen it a bunch of times. And the power bomb on the ramp was cool, even though they didn't show it. And this series kind of, for me, showed me a little bit more of Lashley um, that I want to see. Um, I still definitely like him more than a certain other world heavyweight champion who is not on the show for months at a time. But it was a good series, and not nearly as good as the tag team series. But I think that's kind of TNA's niche is the X Division type wrestling. Not necessarily the big guys, but the guys that can do technical, can do high flying, can do. Yes, sir.
TNA needs to jump on this now. Jump on it before WWE has the chance to change what they're doing. Jump on the giving the little guys the title. They're doing it a little bit, but they need to make this a thing. Like they're close, but they need to make that a thing. Like because if they beat WWE to it, they're doing a good job.
Yeah, like
WWE is going to take a while.
they had a great thing going when they had EY as the champion. Even though people were going, "Oh, it's just a copy of Daniel Bryan," it really wasn't. He was there literally since the beginning of TNA. He deserved it. Um, you know, it, yeah. I mean, yeah, they both have beards, but I mean, they both have testicles and buttholes. Is that is it really that much of a conspiracy? Come on now. I'm sorry if there's children watching. I did. Do they both have no parts? Yes. Gotta make it family friendly. I'm sorry. We're in the PG era. No, but and again, I think a lot of wrestling fans will just nitpick at everything. It doesn't matter what it is. Uh, if if TNA signed another Samoan wrestler, they'd be like, that's a Rock ripoff, or that's a Usos ripoff. This is what wrestling fans do. Well, the majority of I don't know, Uh, I don't want to, you know, make fun of wrestling fans too much because I'm one of them, but there are those guys out there who will just go on the internet and be like, "Oh, this sucks," when they have no idea really what they're talking about.
Nothing to do, excuse me, nothing to do with wrestling fans, but did you think the count was a little fast? After I watched it, I was like, that count was a tad bit faster than I would think. And don't get me wrong, Kurt Angle's not a professional referee or anything, but was that count a little bit fast?
It was a little bit, but I mean, that could have been, like you said, it could have been just because he's not per, a referee. So the adrenaline could have been pumping. I don't know.
Yeah, Kurt Angle's back in the ring in wrestling style a little bit, and not just talking. So he probably was a little excited.
Yeah.
Um, so after that, we get MVP. This is basically catching us up once again. We get MVP. He wants his shot because he says, you know what, you know, Lashley only got his shot because I got hurt, so I want my shot. And basically, he cashes in, but he can't cash in. He can't win the match. He doesn't win. Then we get a video package on the Lashley Rude feud that obviously will continue. I don't know if you have anything to say about that in particular.
Not really. Just, I guess. I can't see MVP really winning the title because, for one, he doesn't need to win the title, like I've said in the past. And two, like, we need to give, newer guys chances at the title. You know, Again, TNA, you need to jump on that. You need to give newer guys, the title. You need to build up your stars, not just bring in recycled stars from other companies. No offense to any of them, but I mean, even if you brought in Ring of Honor stars, that would be cool, like you did with the Wolves. You know,
Yeah, I agree with that. So next week, I think it's going to actually be an even cooler show than the last couple ones. We're going to get the top. I think it said top 20 moments from TNA's history completely. They said from the Asylum to now. So I thought that was really cool. So that's going to be cool to get like the. It's going to be a little bit unfortunate because it's going to kind of let us see how much TNA's changed, but it is going to be really fun to reflect back on that stuff too. So, you got any top? What are your top matches for the year? Um, do you have any yet, or you want me to go first? And also, injury news is coming right in after this. Okay, so
you
stay
you
tuned.
go first. You go first.
All right. For the knockouts, I think it was Taryn Terrell versus Gail Kim. What the one match they did have this year? Because I think those are two of the best knockouts in the ring. So I think I like that. And my knockout of the year. This is not a real category. I just wanted to put it in there. Brittany, because she's my girl. So knockout of the year, Brittany. Uh, you want to give your knockouts match of the year, or would you want me to just go through all of them?
I would agree with Terrence Terrell and versus Gail Kim. There wasn't really any other knockouts matches or feuds that kind of really jumped out at me too much. I would love, like I said, I would love to see more of Brittany, but I have no idea where she is. She ran away with Samuel Shaw, and I don't know where they went.
All right. So next is the X Division. I think my match of the year for the X Division has got to be Sonata versus Austin Aries, and it's the one. I'm pretty sure it's the one they showed tonight where Sonata lost the X Division title. The false finishes in this match were so good, and this was a match that I didn't actually expect Sonata to lose. So I think my X Division match of the year has got to be Sonata and Aries. Um, you know, just every aspect of it. I thought it was just a really good match.
Uh, my X Division match of the year wasn't because they didn't have any Ultimate X matches. I want those back. They were always awesome. But there was
Are
a
you sure?
couple.
Are you sure they didn't have an X Division match? I swear Sonata was in an X Division match. I can't. I mean, not X Division. You know what I mean? Ultimate X match.
Ultimate. I don't know. It might have, but the ones that jump out to me were the Samoa Joe versus um, low key matches. They're always good. They work so well together that it's always exciting. They always do something new. There's always it's always a good match when you see those two together in a match. Especially when the belt is up for grabs. They put that little extra into the match.
They actually did. They had an Ultimate X match, but it was on one night only. I'm pretty sure for some stupid reason why I don't know, and it upsets me a little bit. It was at Extravaganza 2. It was low key. He won over Rashad Cameron, who I don't know who that is. Kenny King, Ace Better, who I don't know who that is. Sanjay Dutt, and Tigre Uno. So maybe they should have showed that on real life stuff that I could watch, or something.
Something where we don't have to pay.
Yeah. So my world title match of the year, I was really bouncing around between Dixieland and no, I was really bouncing around between anything in Magnus's title run. No, I was seriously bouncing around between the Lashley matches and the EY matches. Like maybe not Lashley versus EY, but actually, it was Lashley versus EY. I like that match. I really did like that match. One of my favorite matches of the year, especially with EY. Anytime you get EY in that ring, that's where we are right there. Um, EY versus Lashley. I think I got to go with that one.
Mine was EY winning the title. That that was it. I loved it. I was so excited when he won the match or when he won the title. Um, yeah.
All right, so now we got our injury news, the much weighted injury news. It's only
Did
two
we do
guys. You got anything else?
did we do the tag team match of the
We
year?
didn't. We didn't. I forgot about that. Tag team match of the year, the tag team series. That's about all I can say.
Yeah.
I can't pick out one match. They were all really good. They all had like specific, unique spots in them that made them great matches.
Yeah. I think the last one. I think that was when uh, the German suplex into the chairs, and I think that was also the one where I don't know. I forgot if it was Eddie or Davey who got his head like between the ladder rungs and just kind of stayed there. I forget.
That
That
was
was awesome.
the X Division match. The X Division ladder match or something like that they had not too long ago.
Wasn't that one of the wolves though? I swear that was
Yeah,
one of the
it was
wolves.
Davey Richards because he got frozen again. He got powerbombed and his head was stuck in the rung of the ladder and just stayed
Yeah,
there.
that was awesome.
Um, Miscellaneous match of the year. I just made this up just now, but I think it had to be Gunner versus James Storm. Um, one of those matches had to be one of my miscellaneous. All right,
This
so
is
are you ready?
the year Rockstar Spud Suits. Wait, what?
All right, so injury news. Just it's two people in particular. Um, I know we've been wondering where Brooke Tessmacher is. Because what huh? No,
The
but
Amazing
well,
Race.
no, yeah, she is on the Amazing Race, but I'm talking about like why she hasn't been in the ring either. Um,
Because she's on the Amazing Race.
but she's also injured,
Ha.
so you guys know. And maybe it was because of the Amazing Race. I don't know. She actually has a torn ACL, from what Wikipedia told me. So
Ooh.
that's not good. That's not good at all. Um, And then EC3 actually is injured. Um, he has a torn triceps, two torn triceps. I don't know. He has
Ooh.
torn triceps though, so that's not a good thing either. So those are the two injury bugs I got
I
that I
have
read off of Wikipedia.
I have one injury report. This is tragic. This one's hard to take. Cam Newton, two broken bones in his back after a car wreck. I am sorry, Carolina fans. You are just no. Sorry. I'm sorry.
On the bright side, Carolina fans, you are this close to the playoffs. Keep fighting, baby. Derek Anderson, believe that. Um, this was part two of Best of Impact Wrestling review. Um, part dos, if you speak Spanish, maybe. Number two.
I
Um,
gotta show off the shirt. Fall brawl. Gotta. Yeah.
can I show off my shirt? Mm.
Yes.
Allied Independent Wrestling Federations. Woo! Uh,
Oh.
oh yeah, I wore the shirt not too long ago. So if you don't remember, there you go. Um, guys, feel free to follow me on Twitter, because that's what we do. We follow each other on Twitter, and then we talk to each other about wrestling. So I feel free, talk to me. If you have a nice cousin slash sister that likes wrestling, I'll talk to her. I got you. I got you. But feel free to subscribe. Feel free to watch the video over and over and over again if you'd like. Feel free to share the video to your friends, your wrestling friends, your non-wrestling friends, your kind of wrestling friends. So, Casey, you got any last remarks?
Um, I'm gonna second what he said. If you have any cousins, sister, aunts that likes wrestling, I'll talk to her. And keep watching our videos. I want you to vegetate in front of the computer, just watching our videos over and over and over again. No showering, no don't go to the bathroom. Just wear an adult diaper. Just watch. We need the views. We need the. I'm sorry, was that too far? I apologize. But no, follow me on Twitter. I am as weird on Twitter as I am here, so nothing. You're not gonna get a different guy there. You're gonna get this. But we can talk about whatever you want. We can talk about wrestling. We can talk about potatoes. We can talk about the tragedy that is happening in North Carolina, or yeah, I think it's in North Carolina where the Panthers play. It's sad. It really is. But it's okay. He's gonna recover. He'll be back for next season.
Indeed. Next season. Um, oh anyway, tomorrow, NXT review. NXT TakeOver. Our Evolution. Make sure you watch it. Or you don't have to watch it because we're going to break it down. Specifically, move by move. Movement by movement.
We're not gonna go that far, are we?
No, we're not. Feel free to watch the show beforehand, or you cannot, because we'll try to fill you in as much as possible. If you have any comments about this show in particular, feel free to come by. TLC is on Sunday, so that review will be coming in the near future. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you're still here, because you are the real MVP, shout out to Kevin Durant. If you're still here, feel free to subscribe. You get the clap. You get the clap. Anyway, you get the applause. You get the applause. Feel free to follow us on Twitter. However you may feel like you want to follow us on Twitter. Don't literally follow us because that's weird. But
You can do that. You can do that. Do that.
Okay, you can do that, I guess. If you have any suggestions on what we should talk about, feel free to leave those in there too. I know it ran a little bit long tonight, but it's what sometimes we give y'all the best, okay? We give y'all the best of us always. So
The best of us, even in our anyway.
anyway, yeah. We'll see you guys later. If you have any comments, if you got any friends that may want to subscribe, feel free to bring them by as well. Give us a thumbs up. If you give us a thumbs down, let us know why you're giving us a thumbs down because we need to know. All right. See you guys later. Talk to you later. Peace. Bye. Adios. Hasta luego.
Get
Hasta
out of
la.
here.
Buenos noches. Bye.